Welcome to this video tutorial on creating a simple Sudoku game in Java. If you've ever enjoyed solving Sudoku puzzles and wanted to create your own game, you're in the right place. We'll take it step by step, covering all the essential concepts, including data structures, algorithms, and GUI programming. Let's get started. First, let's discuss what Sudoku is. Sudoku is a logic-based combinatorial number placement puzzle. The goal is to fill a 9x9 grid with digits so that each column, each row, and the 9 3x3 subgrids that compose the grid contain all of the digits from 1 to 9. To implement this, we need to understand how to represent our Sudoku grid in Java. We'll start by creating a 2D array to represent the Sudoku board. In Java, we can use a 9x9 array of integers initialized to 0, where a 0 represents an empty cell. Let's write the code for this. Next, let's think about our Sudoku class. This class will not only initialize the board, but also include methods for displaying the board, filling it with a sample puzzle, and checking if the board is valid. Let's start with a method to display the board in a nice format. Now we have a basic framework for the Sudoku game. We can create a Sudoku object and call the display board method to see our empty board. Let's implement this in a main method. With our board displayed, it's time to fill it with a sample Sudoku puzzle. We will create a method called fillSamplePuzzle. For simplicity, we'll fill some cells with predefined values. Here's an example of how we can do that. Let's call this method in our main method and see what the Sudoku board looks like with some numbers in it. Now, it's crucial to ensure that our Sudoku board is valid. That is, each number appears only once in each row, column, and 3x3 subgrid. To accomplish this, we will write a method called isValidPlacement. This method will check if placing a number at a specific location violates Sudoku rules. This method checks all conditions for valid placements. To test this method, we will implement a simple function that tries to place a number on the board and prints the result. You can call the testPlacement method from the main method, trying to place numbers at different positions to see if they are valid or not. This will help you get a feel for how the Sudoku rules work. The next part of our Sudoku game is crucial. We need a way to actually solve the puzzle. We'll implement a backtracking algorithm to achieve this. The backtracking algorithm will try to fill the board, one cell at a time, backtracking when it finds a conflict. In this method, we check each cell on the board. If we find an empty cell, denoted by 0, we try placing numbers 1 through 9 and use recursion to see if the rest of the board can be filled. If we hit a dead end, we backtrack by resetting the cell back to 0. This process continues until the board is completely filled. We've now implemented the algorithm to solve the Sudoku puzzle. Next, let's make our game interactive by leveraging JavaSwing to create a user interface. This way, users can input their own Sudoku puzzles. We'll create a frame to hold our components. In the constructor, we initialize our Sudoku object and create the JFrame. Let's add a JPanel to display our Sudoku grid using JTextField for user input. For simplicity, we will create a method to set up the grid of text fields. This code constructs a 9x9 grid of text fields, allowing users to input their Sudoku numbers. Now, we will implement a method that retrieves the values from this grid and fills our Sudoku board accordingly. Next, we need a button for users to solve the Sudoku puzzle. We can add a J button and set up an action listener that will call the solve method when pressed. Finally, let's put everything together by calling our JPanel and JButton setup methods in the constructor of our GUI class, and also make the GUI visible. This should provide us with a simple yet effective GUI for our Sudoku game. To run the GUI, we need a main method in our Sudoku GUI class. Now we have a fully functional Sudoku game in Java. You can input your own puzzles, and the program will solve them for you. Of course, there's plenty of room for enhancements, such as adding features to generate random Sudoku puzzles or improve the user interface. In summary, we've built a simple Sudoku game using Java that involved using data structures, algorithms, and GUI programming. I hope this tutorial has been informative and gives you the confidence to enhance and build upon this project. Thank you for watching.